Hey, how's everyone doing? Second attempt at this one. Just had a massive power cut at home, so everything went off for about 20 minutes. Hopefully, we're good again. So I've had to reset everything up again. So sorry if you joined the original one. I think we went on just for a few minutes before it actually gave us an error and kicked me out. Every single thing in the house went off. House alarm started ringing, all sorts. There was all sorts going on, so just typical, just after a stream starts. But we're back now, so give me 1 second and we'll get right into it. Right, so fishing North Atlantic. I said I would do a live stream of this after playing it on the recorded video the other day. A few of you guys that watch the channel have picked it up, and I know a couple of you were looking to find out how to properly use it. There's a bit of a learning curve, but it's not too bad once you repeat it. SNCF, how you doing? The 6-minute stream should have gone now. There was a big power cut in the house, so everything completely went off. That's why it was a 6-minute stream. But hopefully we've put some money in the meter now, and it'll carry on. Right, continue career. And what I need to do is dock, because there was some things that I did in that brief stream just then, and I don't know whether they saved. Let me have a look. Right, so the mission is still there for the port delivery. That's good. Get location of redfish from a week ago. I'll take that one. Also, get location of pollock from 3 days ago. That's $3,000. Yeah, I'll take it. That might help us out. Let's just check we've got fuel. I think this is done. Fuel tank is already full. No damage to the boat. Okay, good. So I think we're ready to go. What I should do is just have a quick look. Yeah, it's fine, SNCF, don't worry. Let's have a quick look where we are going. These are the previous areas that I've marked out. There's redfish there 17 days ago. So where are the ones that they just gave us? Let's try and find them. Is it this? Is it around here? Pollock a month ago. A month ago. Hang on, didn't want to do that. So that's where we went on the video during the week, up near Digby Gut Lighthouse. Pollock 17 days ago. Right, these ones I've put down. I think these ones I've put down. Let's have a look. 19 days. 3 days ago. I think we should probably go here. This is the tip that we just got from the bar. So let's see. I will manually come out of the dock, I think. But what I should do first is if I can remember where it is. Let's dock. Where's skip time? It's under here. We'll skip so it's daylight, I think. What are we now? Oh, it's 8:11 in the morning. I'll leave it at that because it's going to get daylight. Right, let's get away from here then. So, still using the selfie. I think it's going to be a while before I get to upgrade this. You need lots of money for the boats. They are quite expensive. So, we won't be upgrading anytime soon. Let's just navigate out of the dock. Then we can fast travel to where the tip is for the fish. We will get the sonar on as well, down there on the left hand side. So it's just coming daylight, which is good. Now, with that quarter extended, that 200,000 that we did, we might be able to fill up, if we hit the right spot, we might be able to fill this 18,000 kilograms that we've got available. So, let's get some speed up. It's good in this view, but it's difficult at this time of day to actually see where it is you're meant to be going. There are these little markers here that show you where the shallow ground is. Some rocks over there on the left. So you have to be especially careful at night in this area. So it's also a good thing to have the sonar on straight away, because you can see if the sea floor is coming up towards you. You can see the 10 meters clearance we've got just now. But in fact, it should allow us to fast travel, providing there's nothing in between us and the fast travel points. Did it not do that? That's where we want to go. So let's go to here. A good sign as well is always, if there's a lot of fishing boats around a certain place, it's a pretty good indicator that you're going to get a good fishing spot. So we'll try it. So we will place a waypoint there. Cannot cross land. So that means we've got an obstruction. So we're going to have to navigate our way out as we thought first. So we want to stay away from those rocks. And then we'll fast travel the rest of the way. Now, as I understand it, this selfie is the fastest boat in the game. I'm assuming that's when you've got the engine fully upgraded. I haven't got any upgrades on the engine just now. So I've got the basic engine. But this, if you're playing with one of the basic boats, try and get this one quite early if you can afford it, or take a loan. Because it is fast. It's a decent one, especially if you're doing those deliveries, those cargo deliveries. Because you can't use fast travel on the cargo deliveries, so you've got to be there quick. So try this one out. This is the selfie. Cadban. Oh, you've updated your name on YouTube. Right, I'm going to try and fast travel now. Let's have a look. So this is where we want to go. Pollock was seen here 3 days ago. Place the waypoint. See if we can fast travel now. I think it might be blocked. I might have to come this way. Let's put one there. and then we'll come up here, stop placing waypoints, fast travel, that's better. So once we get to this point, we'll check the sonar. Quite a lot of boat activity around here, which is a good sign. Right, so here we are. Let's just check the sonar. It's quite shallow. It's quite shallow. Let's turn around and go towards the yellow arrow, which is the direction that the fish are travelling in. I think it does, Cadman. Yeah, that's what I try to do, yeah. It is easier. If the names are available, that is, because that's the other issue, isn't it? Sometimes on some sites with mine, I can't have the underscore because they don't, they don't accept special characters. Yeah, this is So Barents Sea was the first one, and this is the second one. This is the sequel. So this is North Atlantic. Very similar game. Very, very similar. They've made some changes for this one. To Barents Sea, but the concept is the same. Same methods for fishing, etc. Just this is the enhanced edition, so this is the PS5 version, which is slightly better graphically wise, I think. But the content's exactly the same as the PS4. There's no difference in the content. And I know this enhanced edition is on sale currently in the store, so I would assume that the PS4 version is as well. So we're travelling down, you can just see it coming into view on the minimap on the right hand side. We went in the bar, somebody gave us a tip off that there was a large area of pollock to be fished just in this area, so we marked it on the map there. So we're just travelling down, got the sonar on the left hand side. You can see there's a few lobsters, there's a few fish just here, but you can see within 1,000 metres now there's quite a cluster of fish coming into view. So once we get near to that, we'll start casting the nets out. So what I'll do is I'll slow down slightly and I will get our crew member out of bed and put him on preparing the gear for casting. There he is coming out on the deck. And what I'll do is get a net ready for him to cast out. These are the nets in the buckets. So if I give him that, that's his first one ready to go. So now it's up to me just to steer to where the fish is. Yeah, there are ships of all sizes. I don't actually know if I can show you. Can I show you in the wiki? Let me just have a look in here. Ports, crew. No, I don't actually think. Let me look in fishing tools. I don't think it shows the ships actually, which is a shame, or the boats. Going home. No, it doesn't. But there are some massive ships, boats. Keep calling them ships. These are the very small ones. You start with these and work your way up to trawlers. So right at the end, you get a big trawler that sort of sweeps for mackerel. That's quite interesting. Let's have a look. So within 500 metres, we've got quite a few fish starting to appear. So I'm going to start putting the nets in. Venom, how you doing? Ant-Man, welcome back. Right, so I'm going to put a net in. So we'll set this net. So if you watch the video during the week, you'll see he's now put the net in. We're casting it out. it's all mini puzzles, so I've got to keep that little purple bar there as close to the centre as possible, because the boat's rocking everywhere. If you go too much either to either side, you can damage the net, which when you get back to port you're going to pay for. So that's the first net done. So we'll leave that there now for a minimum of 21 hours it is that we leave that there. We'll get the next net ready. Leave that there for him. So the fish are looking good here on the sonar. So I think what we'll do is get a close up. We'll set another net here. So when you start off, not all boats have a crew member. The boats are so small that you do everything yourself. But you generally will start with lobster fishing or line fishing. Then you work your way up to net fishing. Net fishing's just a bit easier because you don't have to fiddle with bait. You just literally drop the net in and then collect the net. Ant-Man says, is that a shark flashing? Oh, you mean there's a dolphin somewhere? There's a lot of dolphins. Alright, so all these fish are coming up now. It's looking good in this particular spot. So I'm going to get the next net ready. I'm trying to do them in a straight line, or as straight a line as possible, because when you come back to collect the nets, it's much easier to collect in a straight line. So there's one guy waiting for his nets. Let's put this one in. Once the net's going in, the speed of the boat is all controlled by the system itself. All you have to do is just keep that bar in the middle. Hey Farah, how you doing? You would have been really late, Farah. The first stream of this, I started it, got about 5 minutes in, and there was a massive power cut. The whole house went down, so everything went off, so I had to restart it. Not to worry, we'll get there. Right, we've got to act quick here, so let's get another net ready. So we'll do that, we'll pass that to him. We'll get back in the sea. So the sonar is looking good. Let's put another one in. God bless the power cut. Yeah. Yeah, so what you want to get, Farah, you want to get your, see that sonar down the bottom, you want to find a place like that where there's a big sort of shoal of fish. There's quite a lot here. Now this one, if you missed the beginning of the stream, when we were at the port, in the main menu, I went to the bar. If you go to the bar, I'm assuming it's other fishermen are in there, they'll give you tips on where they've seen fish in the last few days. Now some of the tips are free, some of them you have to pay for. I actually had to pay $3,000 for this tip, but you can see it's a good one. So on the map, this is where we are just now. So we had a tip that pollock was seen here 3 days ago, and they're exactly right. So we've started putting the nets down. The nets have been in, first net was in 33 minutes. So we'll put all these nets in and we'll scan. Yeah, it does, Ant-Man, but if you change it to 1,000, look, hang on, look at that. There's 500, there's 250. So there's a lot just in this area. Let's get the next one ready. The other thing I did with pollock, of course, if you watch the previous video, is I upgraded the quarter at the end of that video because I didn't have any quarter left for pollock, and pollock's one of the most common fish. I think it's all year round as well, it's not seasonal. You always have it on 100 metres, yeah. We'll check it at 100 metres and have a look. Just get that to where I want it. There. Right. Yeah, so 100 metres, there's a couple. But they're fairly regular. There's 1,000, there's 250. So we've got 5 nets out, I've got 7 I think on board. You'd be on it now if it wasn't for this. Yeah, it can be a bit addictive, can't it? So, just keeping an eye on the sonar. I think I will put one down right now. There goes the next one. The weather does change, Cadman, yeah, it does. I think we are, I can't remember what month we're in just now, I'll check it. But when you get to winter, it gets quite bad. There's snow, there's all sorts, there's wind. The sea gets quite rough as well. It's pretty calm right now, but it does get quite rough. So we'll just carry on a little bit more. Got one net left. Let's jump in and get it set up, ready. There we go. And we'll just wait for the best spot. Let's just have a look what's coming up. So at 1,000 there's quite a few, 500 there is, 250 is not bad. And now coming up on the 100, so we'll get ready to cast this one. Do it there. So these nets are all 75 metres. That's weird, the engine nearly stopped. Right, so that's the last net now, so what I can do is, wrong button, I can let the crew rest so that he's ready when we come to bring the nets in. There he goes. He's off for a rest. So what we need to do is just wait the required time. If we go back to the map, this is how you can check. So the first net now, if I zoom in, first net has been in 1 hour and 10. I'm going to wait till about 22 hours. So you'll see that at the moment each one has got a red ring around it. When they're ready to be collected, that red ring turns blue, so you know that they're ready. They've been in the required time. But if you read the wiki, it will tell you for each type of fishing how long ideally the nets should be in, the sort of best range. If you leave them too long, they start to turn green and the catch gets degraded. So there's a kind of window you need to be in to get the best catch, which is usually 21 hours onwards, slightly. Poor House, how you doing? Tintin, what up? Going for your videos right now on this episode 4. Nice, nice. What does enhanced version mean? That's right, yeah. The old videos are not. So enhanced version, just think of it as the next gen upgrade. So if you've got a Series X or a PS5 or an S, Xbox Series S is enhanced. MF, how you doing? Have I got the Scallops DLC? I haven't got the Scallops DLC, but I noticed it's in the sale for about £4. It's only cheap at the moment, and there's a set of trophies as well that goes with that. So I thought I might dip in and get that while it's on sale. Yeah, he's gone for a tot of rum. Yeah, man. Look, I started off as you know, with the best intentions to go straight, and I've kind of gone in a little smiley face, haven't I? There. I'll blame it on the waves, even though there aren't any really. Right, so let's just double check, because what I'll do is I'll skip time. So an hour and 17. If I skip 20 hours, but what I'll do first is, in fact, you know what? Being as we're doing a stream, I won't fast travel to the beginning of the line. We'll just sail the boat. Why not? You can zoom in and out. You can be right next to the boat if you want. Or you can be this far away. I've still got the lights on the front, which is what you can see hitting the waves there at the front. Got the fishing lights on. Yeah, are you getting it, MF? Yeah, I haven't seen any gameplay of the Scallops, but if it's that price, then I might just pick it up anyway. Is the Scallops fixed now? It was broken on release. Was it? Oh, they must have fixed it. If they're still selling it, they must have fixed it, surely. But you've already got it, Farah. Nice. So you bought the whole thing. And there's 2 new boats. Oh, I didn't realise that. I thought it was just the sort of method of fishing for Scallops that came in. That's good then. It's worth it then, isn't it? For that price. Poor House says, how long will it take you if you just drove it to number 1 line? Well, we'll see. It's not that far. So there is, back at base, just before we set off, if you didn't join right at the start, there was actually a cargo mission available worth $50,000. And if you watch the very first video I did on this some months ago, I did a cargo mission there, so you can pick the cargo missions up. It's literally like this. You just got to sail port to port with the cargo on board. When you arrive there, you get paid. The only thing you can't do, you can't fast travel. You can't fast travel, and I think you asked me, Poor House, as well, can you fish along the way? I don't believe you can. I think you just have to... Actually, you might be able to fish. I think you can fish along the way. I think I've done that, you know. Because the missions can take... To go from one port to another, they can take several days. So you can fish along the way. You know what I told you the other day, Poor House? You can fish along the way. So you can kind of double your money. You can fish along the way, and then when you get to the port... So what will happen is, can you see now, I've got 18,000 kilograms available. You can see it down on the bottom right. That's my storage. my total storage. When you pick up a cargo job, it uses up some of that storage. So you can fish, but you'll have a reduced storage capacity, if that makes sense. Yeah, you can do it, yeah. I thought you could. It's been a while since I've done it, but yeah, I seem to remember you could. Yeah, Ant-Man's quite right, you need a fast boat. I think this is the fastest boat, isn't it, Ant-Man? The Selfie. But those cargo missions, yeah, are quite good. So I can see the markers over there. So we'll line up. We'll see how long they've been in the water. We'll skip time, and then we'll start bringing them in. I don't know if you can see the markers there. They're right in front of us right now. So I'm just going to stop the engine. I'm going to look how long they've been in. Right, so they've been in nearly 2 hours. So if I skip 20 hours now, that'll be nearly 22. If I do this and go to the clock, if I skip 20 hours, and it's raining now actually. You're asking about the weather, Cadman, there you go. So you see, like I said, the markers have now turned blue. These markers, the net markers, have turned blue, so they're kind of ready to come in. They've been there 21 hours, 21 and a half hours. So we're good to go with those. So this, the weather like this can make these difficult to spot. So we'll do our best. So let's put some power in. Let me zoom in the map a little bit so that I can see exactly where I need to be. Hey Mr. Water, how you doing? Good to see you back. Myrtle, how are you? Yeah, you're quite correct, Myrtle. Yeah, you do get a better reputation at each port. Yeah, and I think that gives you better prices, doesn't it? Does that give you better fish prices? So there's the first one. I can just see it now. And I've got, as I said in the last video, I've got the upgraded fishing buoys or buoys or markers, so they're slightly easier to see. The standard ones are pretty difficult to see in some cases. It's alright if you've got the flat calm. What I need to do is get our guy back out. I need to take him off that, and I need him to do net hauling. Here he comes. So we need to line up with the first one in a straight line with the second marker if we can, and it'll turn green at the side, so I'll just hold X. So here comes the fish now. So you just got to hit right 2 in the correct place. That's just another mini puzzle. That's all we need to do, and then we'll see how we get on with this catch. Just as the thunder starts. So I'm not getting very many perfects on this. Right, so we got 3,789 kilograms just from that one catch, which wasn't too bad. Farah says another thing like is the excellent use of the controls. It is quite good, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Ant-Man says if you keep dropping all your fish at one port, the prices will plummet. Yeah, so if you watched the video last week, I did show briefly how to check each port for the prices. And you can always fast travel to the port. You don't actually, you know, if it's a port that's miles away, you don't have to manually sort of drive the boat over there. You can fast travel directly to the port, which we might do after this, just to show how that works. So here's net 2, just in front of us. This is the advantage of going in a straight line, even though I didn't quite do it. And if the weather's bad, the straight line also helps, obviously, because of the you kind of know what direction the markers are going to be. Because, as I said, sometimes you can't always see them. Right, the waves are pushing me back here, so let me just try and steer. There we go. That's it. Let's try this again. It's the gutting that I can't do. That requires a bit of skill. After the last video, I did have a couple of comments, people saying I was doing it too quickly. So I'll try a different method this time. So we got another 4,449. So in total, out of our 18,000, what is that? Is that 8,000 we've got? Just trying to look at the TV. 8,200 and something. After 2 nets, so we might actually fill the boat before the end. We'll see. Deep lines are good for tuna and swordfish. You know, I haven't got as far as going for tuna and swordfish yet. That's interesting. That's what I mean. It's a good game, isn't it? Because you can net fish one day, providing you own a boat that can be rigged for tuna and swordfish. You can go back to port, swap the rigging around, or change boat, have the boat ready to go, and then just come back out again with a different boat. So you can upgrade the knife, can you? I didn't even realise that. That's interesting. Right, this is net 3. I think these are all pollock. I know the tip was for pollock, but on the sonar that wasn't as good. That one on the sonar it was showing a few different types. We only got 1,638 from that net, so we'll go for net 4. There's 4 knives to choose from, right? I'll look at that then. I'm definitely still on the basic one. I've not even known about that. So a flash of lightning just then. Just a bit more. Go on, go on. Took the power off too early there, I think that was the problem. Right, let's see what we get on this one. Only 5 on this one. If you get this game though, you're going to spend hours on it. You really are. Because of the variety of different fishing types. You can spend, I mean, you can spend weeks just on net fishing if you want to. And you can just net fish the whole time. But if you want the variety, there's all sorts of fishing types, as we talked about. In Barents Sea, I did quite enjoy using the trawler at the end, and that was a bit, I can't remember what it was called now. It was very technical. You had to use joysticks to drop the net, and you literally, as you were going along, you were raising the net and lowering the net and watching it on a big sonar screen at the back of the boat, and getting some really big catches worth, you know, several 100,000. That's how many fish you were catching on that particular type of fishing. Because there was a trophy. I think the last trophy I had to get was, I can't remember, so many 1,000 tons of mackerel, I think it was, and you had to use that boat to get it. It was a massive boat. Right, just got to work my way back in for this one. There we go. How long's it been out now, this game? About a year. I was trying to recall. I think you asked me, Cadman. I think it's about a year. The standard edition came out first, didn't it? I'm talking for consoles. I think it's been out a bit longer for PC. You've reached the yearly quota for Pollock. Unbelievable. I spent 200,000 extending the quarter, which I think actually only gave me 20%. So the quarter's not very big to begin with. If I've used 20%, an extra 20% just on this mission, then that's not very big at all. Only 865 kilograms there because I couldn't collect the rest of the pollock. So I think we're going to have trouble with these next two nets, because I think it's pretty much going to be all pollock. We'll see. That's a good tip about the knife though. Hey Corby, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, good to see you in live as well. I think these are all going to be pollock, in which case we're not going to catch anything. Because it won't allow us, because we've overfished it. Hopefully as well, by the way, you guys can hear the game sound okay, because I did turn it down slightly. Sometimes the noise of the boat is quite loud. Yeah, I think these are all pollock. That could have been mackerel actually. There's also good feedback in the controller as well. You mentioned the sound from the controller, Farah. The actual vibration's good as well. Just on this bit now. Every time I go to click on the fish, it sends a decent vibration through the controller, which is quite good. Yeah, see, I only collected 120 kilograms there. Over 4,000 kilograms was lost because it was pollock. So we're going to need to rethink what we're fishing for on the next bit. So I originally thought we would get to our 18,000, we're obviously not going to. We could, if we were allowed to collect that pollock. And you can have more nets than this. I think on the selfie you can have 10 nets. I've only got 7 because I find that 7 is generally enough to fill that 18,000 storage. Now if I upgrade the storage, then I could obviously get 3 more nets, but I'm on the basic storage at the moment. So you can pay for an upgraded storage. So we'll take this last one in, we'll go to the port, we'll sell the fish, then we'll have a look at what's going on elsewhere. I wasn't quite straight then with the second marker, so let me just back it up slightly. I need to turn the front end, though it's doing it itself, so that should turn green now. There we go. So these, well, they're not waves, are they? But the swell is moving me around a little bit. So you have to be straight on between these two markers. You have to be facing the second one straight on for it to work. There we go. That's better. Right, so that's when it came out today. The deep diving simulator, which is like Subnautica without the base building. Well, that's good because I don't like all that base building stuff. Which is all why I gave up on No Man's Sky, which I was quite enjoying. I gave up on it after a bit. For want of a better terminology, I couldn't be arsed putting together what I needed to fuel the ship in. That's how basic it was. I couldn't be bothered putting all the stuff together to build fuel for the ship, whereas all I used to do was go and harvest some plant somewhere, and it was dead easy. It suddenly went a bit Minecraft for me, and I couldn't couldn't be bothered with it anymore, so I dropped it. No, I played it for about a year, I think, and I dropped it after that. I didn't bother. So we'll have a look at that then. Deep Diving Simulator. It's on PS4 and Xbox. Oh, it's out already, is it? Okay, I'll have a look at that then. Fresh fish looks tasty. I kind of agree with you, MF. I'm not kidding though. When No Man's Sky came out, I literally did just want to get to the centre of the universe. I was happy with that. But I mean, it's really popular. They obviously only change games to whatever the current popularity is. So they're obviously doing quite well with it to stretch it out this many years. Right, because there was a up here, there was where I started off. Right up here, Inglis Head, there was a mission, a cargo mission. I'm going to go back there to sell this fish. So I'll fast travel back up there, so I can pick up the mission, because that was worth 50,000. So what I'll need to do first, before I dock, I'll put the crew away. He can go for his tot of rum again, so let's close that. Now what I need to do is gut the fish. So as I said on the other video, what I like to do is come back to the port to do it. I don't actually dock yet, but I come back because it's generally a bit calmer. So you know, you can get the idea is you can have a more steady hand, but as you can see, I'm not that great at this. So let's try. So someone said go really slow, so I'll try that, but it's still. So yeah, alright, I got 2 stars. I sort of slipped at the end. I think I said it the other day, this is the one aspect of the game I don't like. I find this a bit boring, to be honest. So once you do get a crew member that can gut the fish, then it's good. I think some of the bigger boats have gutting machines, don't they? There's a machine for gutting, there's a machine for packing it, so that when you get back, it's all already done. At least there was in Barents Sea, so I'm going to assume it's the same with this. Obviously, as you can tell, I haven't got that far into it yet, this time around. And as we've been talking about, this is the basic knife, so I'm going to go and get one of those knives. In fact, we'll do it when I dock and sell this stuff, whilst I remember. Yeah, same as you, Mr. Water, yeah, exactly. Elite Dangerous is something I've never played either. So I'm getting like 2 stars. So on these next missions, we don't want to be catching pollock, pretty much, because we can't catch it. We've run out of quota. And what I'll do is I'll just check what month we're in and what season the fish are in just now before we set off. Then if we need to look for something that's in abundance just right now, we can see if we can find it. Yeah, I'm terrible at this. But if you don't do this, as I mentioned the other day, if you don't do this, you can sell them without gutting them, but they're not worth as much. So it's worth doing even if you make a hash of it like this. Right, here's a redfish. Sometimes these are a little bit easier. I think it depends how steady you are with the thumbstick. I guess on a PC you're dragging the mouse across. Right, that's it. That's everything gutted. So what we can do is we can dock. Would you like to sell your catch? Well, we may as well. So that's what we got. As Myrtle says, the port reputation's gone up 2.7%. 38,000 income we got from that. You can imagine how much it would have gone up if we'd have been able to land that pollock. We've got the crew member's wages. He gets 1% of whatever the total is, so he got $384 for that trip. So let's sell the catch. So we bank that. First thing I want to do is go to the bar. And this is what I was saying about the tips. So if you're rigged for lobster fishing, there's a tip here that says they'll tell you where lobster was 3 days ago. You can pay $3,000 for that if you want it. But I'm rigged for net fishing, so I'm not going to go for that. And then in the missions, there's one here that's worth 50,000. Doesn't tell you here where it is, but we'll take it. Dennis Point. So we've got 12 days, and it starts a countdown. Right. So the other thing is maintenance first. Let's fill the fuel up. Don't think boat's undamaged. Right, okay, cool. Upgrades. Right, so let's have a look. Where is the knife? Where'd you buy the knife? Am I in the wrong place? Oh, is it in fishing gear? Fishing equipment. That's where it'll be. No, that's buy nets, sell nets. Shop. Knife. There we go. Right, so these are the ones you're talking about. So the Singer gutting knife, 25 grand. Right, well, I'm going to take your advice and go for this gutting knife. It'll apparently give me 40% better gut. So that's that. Let's have a look what else we've got. Increase the distance you can see. What else have we got? A hook. Oh, so this is when you're landing the fish, I'm assuming. Wow, 25 grand for a hook. It's on sale, Mr. Water. Yeah, it is. Farah picked it up as well. Yeah, so go for it if you like the look of it. Right, let me just think. So, Dennis Point. Where is Dennis Point? It's right over here, is it? Nuremberg. It's annoying how you can't see the whole map unless you keep zooming in and out whilst you're doing it. Wait, how's that boat got inland like that? That's weird. Oh, there it is. There's Dennis Point. So it wasn't. It's quite near to where we were just fishing then. So I've got on here 20 days ago that there was redfish there. So I think we might head down there. Yep. Thanks, Cabman. See you later. We'll navigate out of the port first. Let's do that. So yeah, this mission's taken up, like I was saying before, it's taken up 250 kilograms already out of the available 18,000, but it's not a lot. It's 14 nautical miles at the top, so I think we will fish along the way. So I think you can skip time because it gives you 12 days. You can skip as much of that as you want. You just can't fast travel. It is Mr. Water, and like I said, this is just net fishing. Let me look in the wiki actually. Got out of fishing tools. So there you go. Long line fishing, net fishing, snow crab, harpooning, lobster, deep line, trawling, scanmar system. That's what I was talking about with the mackerel, with the giant net on the back. Scanmar. I did that in Barents Sea. It was a bit technical, but wasn't as fun as these manual types of fishing. But I'll tell you what, the money though you got for it was nice to see. There is a boat as well that I've got my eye on. I can't remember now what it's called. I'll need to look it up. But there is a bigger boat I've got my eye on. So once we get out of here, I'll mark a waypoint for where the redfish were, and we'll go and have a look if they're still there. If they are there, we'll fish those, and then we'll carry on to Dennis Point, and we'll drop this cargo off and get paid for that. I think, Mr. Water, you'll get your money's worth, definitely, I think. There's a potential to play quite a lot of hours in this, so you'll definitely get your money's worth. You can actually get some nice screenshots as well. Right, so let me start putting in some waypoints. I have to remember not to fast travel. That's the key thing. There's pollock in there. I've also got mackerel. That was 18 days ago. This is 18 days, so they might not be there now, but let's try it anyway. So if I start placing a waypoint and I put it there. So we got two waypoints now. So you can use the HUD down there on the bottom right to track where you're going. Put full power on. So it's 4.3 miles to where we think the redfish might be. If anybody does try that Scallops DLC, I'd be interested to know what it's like. I'm assuming you can start it straight away. If they give you the boats to begin with, you could probably go straight into it. You don't have to save up any money to be able to afford it in game. but for that price I might pick it up, you see. Oh, you do have to save up. Right, so it just gives you the ability to do it. You still have to work your way upwards. Right. That's a bit weird, that, isn't it? So you can get a DLC and not be able to really play it. Although, if you think about the timing of when the DLC came out, if you were playing this from the release date, you might be in a position when the DLC came out to be able to play it straight away. It's because we're playing it, you know, buying it all at the same time that we're not in a position then. Yeah, you can see why they did it. I don't think there was any DLC for the Fishing Barents Sea. I don't think there was. Can't remember now. I don't actually need all these lights on. Let's rotate the searchlight. Where's the lights? Switch off the work lights. What else have I got? Has that done it? I've got searchlight on still. Where's the searchlight? They're all in different places. It's not up there, is it? No, that's the radio. Let's rotate the searchlight. Ah, you can stop the searchlight mode. So does that do it? Oh, it's still on. Ah, it's not a big thing. There's usually a button somewhere. I have got autopilot on this as well. Oh, switch off the... That's it. The ultimate one's $9 million. Wow, God, that's going to take you a while. It looks good though, doesn't it? It does look good. I like how they've got the water breaking across the bow as well there, which is quite nice. All DLC was included for the console version. Yeah, he sounds familiar actually, Ant-Man, that could be right. Yeah. I remember Barents Sea came out, well, it was a few years ago now, wasn't it? I think on console it came out over Christmas, because I was off 2 weeks for Christmas. I remember picking it up, I think Boxing Day I picked it up, and I played it solid over that Christmas. I got right into it. I mean, this one, does it tell you what level you are? Does it tell you in here? Don't think it does, just tells you current missions. Gives you a log of what you've done. Look at that chart there. The chart, the profit is going up. And then I bought the 200,000 quarter increase, and you can see the money drop right off there, but it's going back up again. It's going in the right direction. What's in the logbook? Catch, gear, sales, statistics. This could be. So there you go. Total play time 1 day, 19 hours 45 minutes. You can see there what I've caught as well, and I've discovered 29 out of 39 locations and boats. I've only owned 2 boats, so I've got the basic one that you start with, and I've got this one. So I'm saving up for the next boat, that's what I'm doing. And the other thing I was going to do is, and I should have done it before I left, is fishing seasons is what I was going to look at. What date is it right now? May the 25th. Let's go back to this. So we're in May. Swordfish, tuna and hake are out. Lobster's ending. Pollock and redfish are in. Mackerel started on the 1st. Then in June we've got tuna starting up. Then we can fish pollock, redfish, and then we got haddock 1st of June, and then mackerel. So tuna, we might have to rig up for some tuna soon from 1st of June, because tuna's only going from the 1st of June to the end of October, so there's only a few months to do that. So it's worth keeping in mind. Well, silver hake as well is another one that doesn't last long, so we need to keep that in mind. And swordfish definitely is. So swordfish, tuna, silver hake have quite short seasons, so we need to have a think about that near the time. Some redfish are actually showing here, look. We're not actually far away from, well, we've still got two nautical miles to where I've marked it. So we'll keep going. There's pollock mixed in with that, which I can't land, so. Yeah, so you don't have it venom, do you not? You're not playing it at the moment. Yeah, it's quite good. I quite enjoy it. I've not played enough of this one. It's my own fault. Other things come out, don't they? And you've got so much stuff you want to play. You have stuff on your shelf that you've not even opened yet. So, yeah. Oh, you just started Venom, right. Fair enough. 1.6 nautical miles to the redfish. We've got some here. There's a lot of lobster there, look, at the bottom. Let's look at 1,000 of what's coming up. A lot of lobster. $295 for the cheapest scallop dredger, right. And the other thing, of course, is as you're going along like this, if you're not fishing on this particular spot, but you can see on the sonar, so there's quite a lot of lobster here, for example. So then, what you can do is, if you, just as a reminder, so if you press square, start placing fish, then triangle to select fish type, then you can go to lobster, just click it, then triangle again, stop selecting type, and then you can place fish. You can zoom in on the map a bit more. You place fish, it'll put a lobster there, so that's just in case you didn't know, that's how you set the reminders. of when you last saw different fish there. That's how you do it. Just in case you are new to the game and you're not worked that out yet. On the map, you see all these I've put in. And then it's up to me to think, well, you know, 7 days ago, will that pollock still be there? I mean, I can't fish for pollock right now anyway. But it's the same for all these. So redfish, 18 days ago. And if you go back there and they're not there, just remove the fish marker. Because you'll end up with quite a lot of these. You see, look, all these I've put on. All these I've put on. If you go back and they're not there, take them away. The ones with the yellow are the ones you pick up in the bar. They're the tips, and that shows the direction of the fish travelling. So you can set your nets from this end along this line. The direction of the arrow. And if I'm teaching you guys to suck eggs, which I probably am, just tell me. But I know that was something I wanted to know when I first started, because there's a lot of stuff in that wiki, and unless you're watching lots of YouTube about it, there's a lot to learn and pick up. A bit like the farming sim, similar thing. So we've got 1 nautical mile to where I've marked it. So I'm wondering if it's going to pick up. There's a bit of a mix just coming up. So we'll kind of fish around this general spot if we see anything, and then we'll carry on and drop off the cargo. You just got North Atlantic Barents Sea Complete Edition for $24.99. Both games together. That's pretty good. I really enjoyed Barents Sea. I can't remember if I mentioned it in the video last week, but the only thing that was in Barents Sea that's not in this is in Barents Sea you had to discover the map, which I quite enjoyed. I quite enjoyed doing this kind of thing, just driving the boat around, discovering it. Whereas with this, all you had to do was discover the ports. So in Barents Sea, the map is completely greyed out. And as you sail along, get a big sonar, which is what I said to you, Fire, for this game, but get a big sonar in Barents Sea. And the bigger your sonar, radar, sorry, the bigger sections of the map you can uncover at one time. If you start with the standard one, you just make like a little line as you're going across the sea. But you can uncover big chunks of the map if you upgrade it. And they didn't put that in this. It was unlocked already, which was a bit of a shame because I did enjoy that. But one of our other subscribers was telling me that people had complained they didn't want to just sail around. They wanted to get fishing. They didn't want to start having to uncover stuff. And I've stopped the boat a little bit just to see what's coming up. See, there is quite a cluster of redfish coming up, but there's a bit of everything mixed in there. We're still, well, we're only 650 meters away. I'm tempted to throw the net in and we'll just see what we get. Just let me turn the lights back on. So we've got the work lights on. I'll put the searchlight back on. Right, let's get our guy back out of bed. He can be on the prepare gear. There he goes. I'll get him a net ready, as we did before. That's nice, the sun going down, look. And I can hear a storm again. Let's just check what we've got and we'll just move forward a little bit. Love one game, love both. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah. They're both very similar. They're similar games. Very similar. The good thing as well is that if you net fish on one boat, it's not always the same on the next boat. So, you know, you don't get bored. There's slight variations with each boat. Hey Chris, how you doing? Good to see you in. So there's a few redfish on here. Try not to catch pollock. I find these some of these fish are a bit difficult to distinguish as well. You know, the silver coloured ones, they're a bit difficult because they're quite small down there on that sonar. But I think let's just see what comes up. I might just put the net in shortly. Just don't want to catch loads of pollock, that's the only thing. Let's give it a go. Put the first one in. Yeah, I'm good, thanks Chris, yeah. Mr. Water, you just got Builder Simulator from Steam for 15 quid. Yeah, I mean, you're quite lucky, aren't you, on PC to be able to pick up a few different ones. Right, let's get the next net ready. We might as well do them all here whilst we're seeing fish. Right, we'll do another one here. Alright, that's that one. What we got coming up? 250. There is some pollock in there, but there's plenty of other stuff. Let's do one. Oh no. See, you know, the fish are there, right? I always wonder, we're passing over the top of the fish, but you would assume the fish are travelling in a certain direction, so what you see on the sonar, I assume, will change over the 20 odd hours that are, you know, the nets are in the water. Not sure. So although you can put the nets in where you can see fish, the picture might have changed by the time you come back. In a second I'm going to take that waypoint out as well, because past that now we should head towards the other one. Right, put one there. That's number 4. So, like we said, you can do as much fishing as you want now, we've established, on the way to dropping off the cargo. The trick is to leave yourself enough time left out of that 12 days that you've got to complete the cargo mission. Don't run out of time, I think, is the key thing. I want to remove the waypoint. How do I do that? Square. Right, that's it. Gone. Right, let's get the next net ready. Just in case you weren't in the stream before this one, the tourist bus one, I did put PC building simulator back on the console last night, and I was having another go with that. 2019 I last played that, so I had an hour on that this morning, which was quite nice. So I think we might do a little bit of that as well. Let me just have a look, make sure we're heading in the sort of general direction. We kind of should turn a bit to our right, I think. Let me just check the fish types. So mackerel are the ones with like the V-shaped tail. Pollock are kind of like a solid shape. So these are mackerel. Well, there's a pollock there at the bottom. So we'll try and catch some mackerel as well. Yeah, I played it for an hour today, Mr. Water, just to re-familiarise myself, and I quite enjoyed it. Hey, Starkside, how are you? Nice to see you. Yes, we've got quite a bit of mackerel out this side. We're going to get the odd pollock. We'll catch it, so we're net fishing. Down on this left hand side, there's redfish, pollock, some mackerel,
all in this area. I think redfish are the ones I really want. So I'm going to cast a net right there. And we'll see how we get on. What net is this? Is this 4? Oh, that's actually 6, so we've got 1 left. Let's just check the radar again. There's a little bit coming up. So let's get it ready to go. Then we'll bring these nets in, and then we'll get on our way to Dennis Point then. And that'll be that done. There's mackerel coming up. These are pollock. I want to try and avoid them. God, they get everywhere, these pollock, don't they? The one thing I don't want to catch, and there's lots of it. There's like a little trench coming up. Do you know what, for the sake of it, I'm just going to put that there. I don't want to spread the nets out too far because I can't fast travel. Right, so that's that, so we can put the crew back downstairs. And then what I'll do is put a waypoint back at net 1. So that once we get back up there, we'll see what time, we'll see how long they've been in the water, and then we can decide whether or not we want to bring them in or skip time. So let's turn around. Yeah, so this boat is going right now, it's going 14, it's going around 14, between 13 and 14 knots depending on what the sea's like, which is quite fast I think. So, it takes a bit of time. But you know, this is a fishing game, so you know what fishing's like. Fishing does take time, but there's still plenty to do. The ability to fast travel is actually quite good. It would be a very long game if you couldn't fast travel. If you couldn't fast travel, in fact, I don't think they would make the map this big, would they? I think it'd be a lot smaller, which would be a bit of a disadvantage to the game, because you don't have to fast travel. You can drive it manually if you want to. That's another way to get to the menu. Just click the clipboard and it brings up the logbook, etc. So we have got 1.3 nautical miles to get back to where the first net is, then we'll check what time we've got. And then we'll skip forward a little bit so that the nets are ready. $700. So the nets are passing on our left hand side. So once we reach the waypoint, we'll just turn left. Or to port, that should be saying. So we'll just go through the waypoint. You can see the red mark in front. We'll go through that, it'll remove it then, and then we'll just spin round. So let's meet up with the nets. I can just see the first marker there it is. So let's just stop the engine. And we'll look on the map and see how long they've been in. So they've been in just short of 2 hours. So if I go, let me skip 21 hours is what I think I'll do. Let's do that. Good thing is, it has put it. Has that put us in daylight? Looks like dawn, doesn't it? You can see the marker in front of us. Let's get the crew out on board, ready to bring these in. So we want him on net hauling. Close that menu. Let's just double check now. So they've all turned blue, so they're ready to go. 22 hours 57 for the first one. So he's ready to haul that in. Let's go and do that. Get these 7 nets in, then we'll get to Dennis Point. You're a beast at this, bro, getting all the tips. No, listen, Puras, if you buy it, there's anything you want to know, just put it in the comments. If I don't answer it, I mean, I might not know the answer, but if you put it in the comments, one of these guys in the chat will know. You know, after the video, I mean, if you watch it back, because that's what I like to do on these videos. You see, because I'm not always the most experienced on some of this stuff we're playing, but I like to learn from you guys as well. So we'll share the tips down there. I didn't know about the upgrading of the knife, for example, today, so we'll find out how good I am with the knife, the new knife, after this. I always just assumed I was terrible at the gutting, but I might still be terrible, but I might be 40% better than the terrible I was before. Right, let me get lined up. Right, let's get this in. Alright, let's see how we do then. That's a mackerel. And that's a pollock. So we won't be collecting that one. I think these are all pollock. There's a mackerel, so that's good. We need plenty of those, and these redfish. We'll take those. So we got 12 on this line, so this isn't actually a bad one. Just another mackerel. So, just over 2,000 kilograms, so yeah, you can see there we lost 2,000 pollock again. So, I don't know what I can do about that though, apart from keep extending the quota, but that's the quota for all fish. You can't just choose a quota for pollock, which is what I thought you would be able to do. It cost me 200 grand, as you saw, just to be able to get an additional 20% quota, which was filled within. I used that up within a couple of nets, so it worked out quite expensive. Alright, I've overshot this one, so put some reverse in. It's just very slightly choppier, you can hear the wind. It's not a rough sea by any stretch of the imagination. There's worse than this, there's a lot worse than this, but still going backwards at the minute. Come on. Well, this one's a pain in the backside. Right. Let's try this again. So you can buy side thrusters, can't you? I think, for those sort of fine movements. But I don't know if they're available for this boat or not. Can't remember. I know the bigger boats you really need the side thrusters because they're really hard to manoeuvre. More pollock going through, unfortunately. There's been a few redfish going through, so the marker I put on the map from a while back is still pretty good. There's a lot of mackerel. 727 lost, and we caught 746. So it is what it is. Let's carry on to the next one. Just see it in the darkness. These markers I've got the lights on. They're the upgraded ones that have got lights on, so you can see them at night. Or you can see them better at night, I should say. That was easier. Right, so we've got 12 on the line, so this is another good one. A pollock and a redfish to begin with. And then our old friend, the pollock. I don't know if you see that visual glitch. Watch the fish as it goes off to the side, to the right hand side. Sometimes they turn into a different fish. That mackerel turned into a redfish then. It's just some visual glitch that is in there. But to be honest, you want to see it out of the corner of your eye because you're concentrating that much on pressing the trigger in the right place that you're not really looking at it. It's in your periphery. Right, so we got 2,000 just over, but we lost another 1,800. Just check where we are. Yeah, number 4 is dead ahead. Yep, there it is. Just reduce power. Just coming at it a bit faster. So we've got 10 on this line, so this isn't a bad one. I appreciate you guys coming in though. You know, it's been a good stream this one because this is it is an interesting game. There's loads to do. It's great that you guys have come in and shared a few tips. I think it's a much more enjoyable game when everybody's doing that. So I think we'll do a few more of these. We'll try a few different types of fishing, I think, on the streams. As soon as I can kind of upgrade from net fishing, we'll do that. As soon as I can afford another boat, we'll get one. And I think I will pick up that Scallops DLC just while it's on sale, even if I don't get to play it for a couple of months, you know, till I can save up enough in-game money, as Sparrow said, to get the boats. But if there's one for 295,000, that might not be too bad. probably get that. You're going to try it later, Mr. Water. Nice. Kobe, got a great community. Absolutely, absolutely. Playing Building Simulator on the laptop. Nice. Right, I need to turn for this one. There we go. It's like I've been saying as well about the community, as you mentioned it, Kobe. So we're only, I think we're 90 subs away from the 1,000, which has been great progress. So if I can, if I can get that 1,000, I'll be pretty chuffed, to be honest. So anybody you know, any websites you go on, Discords, anybody you think would be interested in this type of thing, I'd be grateful if you'd spread the word. Everybody, actually, not just Corby, obviously. Anything you can do, because the bigger community we've got, obviously the better. But we're nearly there, maybe give it a few weeks. So we've got net 6 and net 7 to bring in. Then we'll head off to Dennis Point to complete the job. We'll get the 50,000 for delivering the cargo, and we'll also sell what fish we've caught, and we'll see what we get out of them. Should be a not bad payday, this one. I mean, it's in the darkness, right? It's not for streaming this game. Obviously, night fishing is part of playing the game. It doesn't make for the best stream though. It's much better in the daytime. You can see the quality of the game, but we are where we are. I could skip time once I've picked these nets up. I can skip time a little bit and still leave enough time to get to Dennis Point. I think that's what we might do. Now then, I'm looking for this next. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. And I think I'm at completely the wrong angle, so let me swing it round. Yeah, cheers Corby, yeah, I appreciate that. Right, let me line up for this one. Yes, I think after these two nets we'll skip the time to daytime so you can see a bit better. Right, let me get past this and then we'll back it in. That's it. Now the other thing, of course, that once we pick these nets up, because we can't fast travel, what I'll probably do is I will gut the fish whilst we're moving, which breaks my kind of golden rule, but I'll do it anyway, because we might as well multitask. Or in fact, what we can do is set the crew to start work on it, because the more of it the crew does, the better his skills will be in that. So that's what we'll do, I think. We'll get him to do it. And then if he's not quite finished it by the time we reach the Dennis Point, which I doubt he will, we'll just take over the remaining gutting. I think that's the way to do it. Right, let's pick up this last one. I think that could be it, dead ahead. It's right next to us, there it is. Put some power back in. Yes, you have to have a good set of eyes as well to be able to pick these up sometimes. So definitely upgrade these markers if you've got the money to do it. Do that quite early, and then they'll show up in the dark then a bit better. So the second marker is off to the right slightly. So let's just turn it. So if I set this crew member to do the gutting and then accelerate the time a couple of hours, I'm assuming he will come out the other side of it having done a couple of hours gutting. So if I skip time first, that wouldn't make sense. I might as well get him to start the gutting. Right, so in total now in the hold we've got just over 9,000 kilograms, so we'll get some money for that. Let me take our crew member. He's got plenty of stamina left. I'm going to put him on the hand gut for now, so he'll move over to the other side. There he goes. Right, he's going to go on his merry way now, doing that for us. So let's skip some time, if I can do it correctly. So let's have a look. Let's skip to, that's 10 hours, about 8 o'clock. So that we have some daylight. Is he still... Right, he's still doing his thing. So let's us get underway for Dennis Point. And what we'll do is, right, Dennis Point is down there, so we want to avoid land. So if I put a waypoint there, there's some rocks just here, I think, that we'll need to avoid. So I'll put one there, and I'll put one there, and that'll do us for now. So I'll head towards these. So full speed ahead. Let's hope we get the 14 knots. 5.1 nautical miles to the first waypoint. So now if I... Not that one. If I bring up the crew menu... no, where's the hold? Storage. So, within this... tells you the fresh, how much fresh fish we've got, how much gutted fish we've got. You can just see it there. We've still got 5,171 kilograms of fresh fish. The gutted's going up as he does it. I don't know actually how do you I don't know how you change from on the left hand side there at the bottom where it says all storage, catch time, gutted, quarters. I don't know how you change that. Oh, is it that? Navigate? No, that's for that menu. I don't know how you change it down in the bottom left hand corner without a mouse. Not to worry. It also shows it there how much gutting there is to do on the crew menu, so you can see next to the net haul 5,114 and 3,654 is done. Venom says left on the D-pad. Oh, you're right, yeah, exactly right, yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, Farah as well, thank you. This is the gutting. Oh, look at that. So, I think that's saying he's got 3s, 4s and 5s so far for the gutting. These are the quarters. So we only had 72,000 quarter for pollock, which we used up. Not caught any cod, no haddock. I don't think they're in season yet. Lobster we caught a little bit at the beginning. Still got plenty of mackerel left. Got about half redfish, and we've not caught any silver hake because, as we saw, that's coming into season next month. So that's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah. That's what I mean. If you've got one of these missions, he is very slow. But the more you give him to do, the better he gets. So if you can't fast travel, you might as well give him the gutting to do until he's tired and he has to stop. Or if you reach port and he's not finished, you're gonna have to take over and finish. But yeah, definitely try to level him up every time. Quite happily there, working away. He'll have earned his money. Yeah, training at the port as well is useful. It is. So I've got the throttle on full, getting about 9 knots. Nine or 10. So it's still pretty fast. Yeah, so you see the message on the left, Rudy has leveled up, so the more he levels up, the better. Yeah, there's a lot to learn, Mr. Water, definitely. Yeah, there is. And that thing about the knife is pretty basic. You know, getting the best knife. You know, even I didn't know that. I probably went all the way through Barents Sea and played Barents Sea. I didn't upgrade the knife. I can't remember if I did or if I didn't. It's a long time ago. I'd have to load up my save file and have a look. I may have done, but it's just slipped my mind. This, by the way, here is oh, there again. You can see what that's your storage coloured marker, and in fact you can highlight that, look, and it will tell you how much fresh fish you've got, how much gutted fish you've got, and also how much cargo. So that's handy. You can play it all from inside the cab. I'm calling it the cab because we have so many cabs, don't we? Train cabs, truck cabs. It's probably the bridge. I've never been quite sure whether on any boat is it the bridge, or is a bridge literally for the big ones. Don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, Mr. Water. I think it's probably best to play them in the order of release, isn't it? I would say. Because there's certain things in this that they improved as a result of Barents Sea. They took the feedback from Barents Sea and made this better, so it probably is best to play that first, I would say. But there's no hard and fast rule that says you have to play them in any order, apart from that. Right, 3.8 nautical miles, 3.7 to the first waypoint. Still got plenty of time to get to Dennis Point. And like I said before, as you're doing these kind of missions, leave your sonar on. And if you do pass over any good fishing spots, don't forget to mark them as we did just before, and then come back on another day and fish in that spot, and then you'll be able to fast travel to that spot from any port. Yeah, for us, yeah, they're both very good games. You know, you can't go wrong with either of those two. So now that I know I can just hover over this, he's about halfway through, isn't he? 4,690 are fresh, 4,074 gutted. So he's doing all right. And if he's getting, you know, it doesn't matter how long he takes really, because we've got plenty of time to go. But if he's getting, you know, upwards of 4 or 5 stars, then obviously it's going to be worth more money to us when we get into Dennis Point. So he can continue on his merry way there. Just see the coastline over there in the distance. The other thing you need to pay attention to, of course, is this little, see in the next to the in the bottom next to the snow crab on the right hand side, the different colours to show the depths of the sea. So you know it will show you when you're quite close to being in danger and there's a potential to ground the boat. So that's that depth chart there next to the snow crab. Just keep your eye on that, and you can see the map. The blue of the sea is matching all those colours, so you know where the deepest parts of the ocean are. It's just another tip. This game seems more appealing to you, Mr. Water, than Fishing Sim World, which you have and hardly ever played. Yeah. I think we talked about this on another one, didn't we? For me, I wanted something where I can be in a boat like this and do this type of fishing. One of the main appeals for me is actually driving the boat, not the fishing. But the fishing's great. I know it sounds stupid. It's not a boat simulator. It's a fishing simulator. But being able to do this, and as you saw, casting the nets, waiting a few hours, knowing when to bring them back in, getting your crew to work, getting the right equipment, reaching port in this, against a timing like this, and getting everything in order. It's all quite good. It's quite good for your. It's quite good for your brain, the organisation you need to do for some of it. Hey Alexander, how you doing? Are there many cities to visit? As I remember, the world of Barents Sea was very empty. So you mean the ports? So this is it's this awkward map again. So the ports, there's ports scattered here, there, and everywhere. There's one, the Digby's there. You've got. Let me just move the map around. It's a bit awkward. You can come out to sea on this side here. This is the land area. All this is the land area. But you can go all the way up here. You can see over on this side. You've got Lunenburg, which I keep calling Luxembourg for obvious reasons. You can come up here. It's quite big. The scale of it is quite big. So, you can fish all the way out here as well. You can fish right out here. You can see there 10 days ago. There's some tips there for redfish. I should probably go there next in that deeper water. But yeah, there's things to discover as well, like these here. You might not have these Farah yet. Wind Farm, Seal Island. Whenever you are sailing around, you go near one of these, it will be discovered. These are the discovered places. So you can discover boats, and which then allows you to buy them. You can also discover these places. So, yeah, the map's pretty big. The map's pretty big. There's quite a few docks to visit. ports to visit. Hi Peanut, welcome back in. Farah says, I'm with you Tintin, obtaining new boats and the relaxation and Atmos does it for me. Yeah, it is, yeah. Rudy's too tired for work, he's gone to lie down. So that's where we're okay, we're on course. That's where I will finish the gutting. He's gone to rest. Let me get in the right position. How much have we got left? Yeah, we got 4,455. Oh, look at this knife, like a Gurkha knife, isn't it? Right, now let's see if this is any easier. Oh, look at that! Over 3 stars there for the first one. Oh, that was terrible. Still got 3 stars. Well, there you go, 3.5 stars. So it's not too bad, is it? Purao says actually takes a very patient, well thought out plan. Kind of what I like for driving my own boat fishing. Yeah, it exactly that Purao. Yeah, spend as much or as little time in it as you like. Keep discovering stuff. Try all the different types of fishing. And that probably also answers your question, Alexander, that it's not boring. It's not boring at all. It's actually quite good. This is, you know, I said a couple of times for the stream, this is net fishing that I've been doing. But once you get onto the other types of fishing, and you get onto the bigger boats where you've got, like, you know, 5 or 6 crew members all to organise, there's plenty to do. You're never short of things to do. The only thing that might bore you slightly is what we're doing now, navigating to Dennis Point without using fast travel, and that's because you can't use fast travel. Basically, you have to in real time travel the distance under your own steam, as it were. But for me, because I wanted a boat simulator, that's the part of the game that I actually like, so I wouldn't find that boring, but some people might do. That's the only thing I would say. The fishing part of it's definitely not boring. This knife, by the way, is definitely worth it. I'm doing the same job as I've always done, and there I've just got just over 4 stars. So the knife definitely does make a difference. So if you start, you know, like me, doing the gutting with the standard knife and you think you're a bit terrible, get the other knife, because you can do exactly the same job as you were doing, but you will get that extra 40%, it looks like. So that was a good tip. So now we look here, everything's gutted. 8,765 gutted. We got 250 kilograms, that was the cargo. And we got 8,984 free, so potentially we could put the nets out again. Because we're net fishing, you see, the advantage is we don't need any bait. So you can put the nets in as much as you want. So it's fine, but we're not going to do that for the purposes of just completing this mission. But, you know, it's worth thinking about. So there's some land just off to the left. We've got dolphins under the boat. I don't know if you just saw them then. There they are. Either side of us. That's quite a nice touch, isn't it? You didn't think the stream was still alive? Oh, did you come into the first one? The first one lasted about 5 minutes, and I had a complete power cut. The whole house went out. Everything went off. It came back within sort of 25 minutes or so I restarted. But yeah, that was a bit annoying. So sorry if you got kicked out of the first one. Farah, you've already had your money's worth. It is worth that money. It is definitely worth that money. Yeah, poor house has got it right. Yeah, I have to pause it to go to the bathroom. I've done alright actually. How long has this stream been going, by the way? It must be a couple of hours. Must be a couple of hours now. Yeah, lobster fishing's pretty good. I think I started with lobster fishing in the smaller boat that you get as standard. Upgraded this boat, wanted to get to the nets, so I've been doing the nets for the last sort of, couple of months of playing it. 2.5 hours, wow. That's the other thing about fishing, isn't it? You know, if you look at what we've done, 2.5 hours has gone nowhere, really. Mr. Water as well as it's me playing it, but I'm just playing a very small portion of it. You know, depending what type of fishing you start with, you'll have a completely different experience. But somebody passing us over there. Watch out for traffic as well, especially at night. Yeah, you'll have a completely different experience, but it's all good. It's time consuming though. You won't play much of anything else if you're playing it, regular. Yeah, the lobster thing as well. Yeah, do the lobster as soon as you go in, because the lobster season, I think, finishes a couple of months after. I think it's just about. I think we're in May now on my game. Which is a couple of months in, and it's just about to finish. Yeah, not done the harpooning yet, Peanut. I haven't got that far into it yet. I think the harpooning's good money, isn't it? You get good money for that. We'll do a little cinematic. There's another boat there just off to our left. You can, yeah, you can save at any point for I'll share you can. Yep. In fact, that's a good point. So yeah, just press the options button save, and pick your slot. I'll just save over the top. Yeah, so that's now saved. I can resume. Thanks for that reminder. Wow, look at that guy. He's on his side, is he? He's got to be crashed, hasn't he? Hey British Ace, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay, I don't want to get too close to this guy, but he's obviously capsized. But it doesn't look good, does it? Yeah, I'm good, Joe, thanks, yeah. Can't complain. What's the crab DLC like? That's for Barent Sea, is it? The crab stuff. That's not in this. The crabbing in this comes as part of the standard game, I think. Right, we're not far off this first waypoint. Let's just check the map. So we are just off the coast. We've got a little bit of a way to go, but we've no danger of running out of time. The crew's resting. We don't need him again on this trip. He's done his bit. Yeah, Scallops. Scallops is the DLC for this one, yeah. £4.79 UK in the store at the moment. Wait, what is that? The boat's taken off now. Look up there. This is the X-Files. Oh man. The capsized boat has now decided to lift off. Do you know what, actually? I mean, that's just obviously a visual glitch. Apart from that one we saw when we were doing the landing the fish, the sort of graphical glitch. Apart from that one and the one we just saw with the boat flying through the air, I've not seen anything else. There's nothing game breaking in it. Just small things like that, which don't ruin your enjoyment of the game at all. So you don't need to worry about that. Right, so we're coming up to this first waypoint, then we'll turn inland slightly. We're actually getting 12 to 13 knots just now, so again, that's good progress. It's a UFO, yeah. Yeah, Fernbus looks good, doesn't it? That's why I'm hoping Tourist Bus does well on the console, because if it does, then they've got a license to print money then, haven't they, basically? They'd be foolish, wouldn't they, not to just port it over the same way they've done with Tourist Bus. I know we're probably talking a long time away, but still. Yeah, they're definitely good. Right, let's go outside and change heading. There's our marker that we're going to, so we'll just run over the top of it and make it disappear. Hey CJO, how are you? Good to see you, mate. .6 nautical miles to the next waypoint. Yeah, that tourist bus DLC has definitely, as of midnight this morning, has gone up on PlayStation. It was $7.99. It's gone up to 20 quid a pack now. They did say that was going to happen, but I didn't quite believe them, to be honest. But they did do it. It's definitely a cock-up. They've messed it up there again. Both consoles were probably meant to be the same price, and somebody messed it up. Yeah, I'm good, CGO, thanks. Yeah. Do you know what? It's been a bloody good stream, this one. I have to say it. It's been, like you said, it's been a long one. Farah, you said it was 2.5 hours just before. But I tell you what, it's been a good stream. I've enjoyed it. We've actually got through quite a bit, and hopefully it's kind of extended where we started in the sort of offline video, if you will. Let's call it that. The recorded video that was on there during the week. Hopefully it's just brought a bit more of that out. Because those recorded videos can sometimes be difficult to get everything in that you want to actually do, because you're on a timer basically. You don't want to make it any more than an hour really. Whereas with one of these sessions you can kind of do a little bit more, so it's a bit more useful. So we've still got 10 or 11 knots. I don't know if there's a way. I don't know if there's a way to find out which direction the wind is blowing. If I change this to weather, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, the wind is 16.7 knots on our left hand side. So it's blowing us from the left hand side. So the good thing is we're not actually headed into the wind. Yeah, I mean, give it a try, Alexander. See what you think. If you eventually got bored of it, I think, like Farah says, by the time you did get bored of it, you would have had your money's worth, I think. But again, it's obviously completely down to you, you know. You think it's not a cock-up because the Tourist Bus Sim DLC will be able to be used in Firm Bus, and you won't need to buy the DLC again? Possibly, but then for all those players who only want to play Tourist Bus, well, yeah, I see what you mean. They wouldn't be allowed to publicise that though, obviously, because They don't want anyone to know what the plan is for Fern Bus, do they? They'd love to say, you know, buy now, use later, but do you have the option for ray tracing or 60 FPS on PS? 60 FPS you do. I don't think I stream, do I, in 60 FPS? I can do, I might change it. The reason I didn't is because my internet connection isn't always that good. I think my upload speed's only around 6 meg. It's not very good where I am. But I think I'm going to try it. So I think I've got it set to 30 at the moment, not sure. Yeah, you can do it. So, making good progress, 1.4. Overall, we got 3, is that 3.2? Can't quite read it against the background. That's 3, yeah, 3.2 nautical miles to Dennis Point, which is where we get paid. Yeah, it can get a bit jerky. Yeah, on the quality mode. So we'll get this into Dennis Point, then we'll finish there, I think, and that'll be a good job done, I think. Yeah, still going, Cadman, yeah. We are over here. That's where we are. We're going to come in here and we're going to go up through this channel up to Dennis Point to make a delivery. Then we get paid. So we're doing a cargo mission. We've done some fishing along the way. So we get, you know, double money in effect. So we're getting closer to the land. The reason I've come out this way is because you can see here it's a little bit shallow in places, but there's these rocks. You can actually navigate through those, but it can be a bit dicey. So I thought, after this length of stream, I'm not risking it. Yeah, I can't remember who it was pointed out before when we're in the port. I can change the name of the boat as well, customise the name of the boat, and have it displayed on the front when I'm in the port. I was meaning to do that and I forgot. So you can just see over there on the left, you can see where those outcrops of land are that I mentioned. So you just got to be wary over this side. And it's the same in a lot of places as you're coming down this coastline. That's what you can see just there to the left, these two bits. But you know, if you're navigating through any, there's some, you know, spoiler alert, if you come down here, quite often at these bits is where the boats are to be discovered. So even though there's no port, you find if you navigate through these channels, and you've got shallow water, by the way, on each side, you can often find the hidden boats, the discoverable boats, but you have to be really careful. It's usually best to do that at the beginning when you've got one of the lighter boats. There's a good chance of running it aground if you're not careful. So there's the land just there. Just need to stay clear of that. Most of those as well at night, they do have beacons in case you can't see them at night and you don't ram into them and sink yourself. So next waypoint's coming up, and then we'll be turning in. You can see that land there sticking up out of the water as well, just above the boat. Right, here's the marker. So 1.2 nautical miles, the last waypoint, and then we got to just navigate up the channel then to Dennis Point. And then we're done. Let's just check the map. So here we are. I can probably put another waypoint in, can't I? Just for the entrance. Let me do that again. Start placing waypoints. Place one. There we go. So you see, these are the rocky outcrops here. We're getting closer to them. You can imagine those at night being a bit nasty, so you got to watch those. still got that 16, nearly 17 knot wind. So I think as we start to turn in towards Dennis Point, we might hit that head on. Yeah, they do. They're on the map. Well, yeah, actually, they're not. Are they? Not in detail. There's one there. There's one next to it, but it kind of doesn't look the same scale, does it? If I go, they're both there, but I think the scale of the map kind of lies, doesn't it? There's two of them just there, and there's two of them just there. Best just to stay clear. That's the safest way. Got the moon up there. Yeah, so next time you play it, depending on what boat you've got, just have a look what your top speed is. Compare it to this one, this selfie. So remember I'm on the standard engine. I've not upgraded the engine. This is the standard engine, and it's kind of doing 10, 11 knots with the wind in from the side there. I think it is the fastest boat in the game. If it's speed you want, maybe try this one. Although the storage, the standard storage, which I've got there, 18,000, is not very big. Have I come across a whale? I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, there's obviously plenty of dolphins. I remember Barents Sea had quite a few whales. I don't recall if I've seen one in this. Maybe if you go out to the deeper water towards the bottom of the map, maybe they're down there. Now I just need to avoid this guy. I think he's actually just stopped. He's probably trying to avoid me as well. I'll go around the back of him. Mr. Watt says, am I streaming tomorrow? I haven't quite decided. I usually do something Sunday night. So possibly. No worries, Farah. Yeah, 3 hours into your fishing career. Well, I mean, you can get straight back on it after this. I expect you to play till at least midnight. I think the entrance to the Dennis Point are those sort of are they wind? Is it a wind farm or is it like a docks area? Whatever those tall things are there, I think is where we're headed. Some boats go 20 knots, do they? For us, right? That's good to know then. I thought this was the fastest one. If you upgrade the engine on this one, I bet this one goes 20 knots or even more. This is just the basic engine. Maybe what I meant to say was this is the fastest one in the game when you first buy it. If you line them all up without upgrading the engines, this one will be the fastest. Maybe that's what I meant. But if there is one that does 20 knots, I mean, that's good, because this is pretty nippy. We're nearly there. think it was by the wind turbines, the whale. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I don't recall seeing one. Don't recall. Cadman says other boats around. It's cool, makes it look populated. Yeah, and if you go to, like I was saying, at another point in the stream, when you find a fishing area, let me just have a look. The other thing to look for is, there isn't any at the moment, big clusters of boats. So you can see the odd boat here and here. But sometimes in the good fishing spots, you'll see a big cluster of boats, which is a good sign that there's something going on over there, and head over there because you'll probably have a good catch. But yeah, you can go to some fishing spots and there's several other boats anchored around waiting for the nets to turn blue, whereas we kind of skip time generally. The AI ones kind of sit around in the fishing area, but it's not so densely packed that you have to really go out of your way to avoid them. Just an odd one will come at you. I remember in Barrett Sea, there was little speedboats. Every time you went back to the main port, I can't remember the name of the main port. Every time you went back there were little speedboats zipping in and out of the entrance, and you used to need to avoid them. I think I have a video on the channel, one of the very few I did of Barrett Sea, and it shows a guy zipping round in front of me on a speedboat. The whale scared you, did it? Yeah, so there's wind turbines here. This just a visual sort of indicator that we're coming towards the port. Yeah, pretty scary. So in this view, it actually looks like we're going way faster than we are when we're outside. You have to get some nuggets. How come you're not having fish? Poor Elsie, you should be having fish after watching this. To be honest, we're going to dock now at Dennis Point, collect the money, and that'll be us, I think. So you won't miss much. So we'll hit this marker, we'll do a left, and that will be Dennis Point. And we still got 244, what is that, 244 hours. Time's obviously accelerated, as you can see there. But we've still got, potentially, we could have put the nets back in easily and done another fish. And then we would have still used up another, well, let's say 22 hours we have to wait for the nets. Probably a couple of hours to put the nets in. We would still have had plenty of time. Would have had loads of time. So we could have filled the boat. But being as it's been a long stream anyway, it's fine. Plus, I would have ended up catching pollock and not been able to bring it back. I think we'll turn the searchlight off. We don't need the work lights anymore. Switch off the searchlight. There we go. So, some civilization. And, I mean, let's just look. That is, we've done this with no fast travel. And we've come all the way from Inglis Head down here. We fished this redfish spot that I'd previously marked. We did that. We've come all the way down. And now we've come up to Dennis Point. So, you know, that's a decent journey, that. We've done some fishing along the way. We're going to get paid. We've skilled up our guy in the crew. We'll get better money for that fish because we upgraded the knife. So the gutting was a bit better. Our guy was getting like 4 and 5 stars each time. And this is where we need to go. So I don't want to prang it now into the side of the docks after all that and sink the thing. So we'll hit the green marker first, which will give us the end of the cargo mission, and then we'll dock as normal. I think I've got a couple still to do. Farah, just a couple, I think. So I think we just got the 50 grand, which has put us up to 404,000. That was for the cargo mission. Now we need to sell the fish while we're here. So we're not bothering to check the fish prices, because you might get a couple of pounds, whatever, a couple of dollars more at the ports. But seeing as we're here, while it's still fresh, we'll do it. And just from that one, we put the nets in once. We've got $46,000. So if we could have put the nets in twice, obviously we could have potentially doubled it, because we still had quite a bit of space left in the storage. And we brought back mackerel and redfish. So the redfish is a good price, look. You know, $6.43. We got an extra 26% on the redfish for the gutting, which is probably because of the knife that we bought. An extra 17% on the mackerel for the gutting, which was good. 46,365. We paid our guy Rudy $468. I think he earned it, to be fair, because he put the nets out, he brought the nets in, he did most of the gutting. So, you know, he was worth it this time. And then the other thing I always do, because sometimes between games I forget, I fill the fuel up. So that's done. I don't think we've got any hull damage. No, it's undamaged. So the fuel's ready to go for the next one. The other thing is, just have a look in the town. So there's a free tip for the location of redfish from about a week ago, so I'll take it. There's no missions from this port, so that's us. That's Dennis Point. So that was a pretty good stream. Thanks everybody for coming in. I'll let you get on with your evenings now, and I'll go and eat something. Good stream. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate all the support. Let me know if you found it useful. Hopefully you gave me a thumbs up, because that's how I can tell. And I'll see you on the next one. Could be back tomorrow with something, tomorrow night. We might do on the road. We'll see. We'll see how we feel about it. But yeah, thanks guys. Catch you later.